We seek to quest for free, fair, transparent, and peaceful elections this year. And we want a forensic audit of the register. And not just the register, but its IT system. We need to note this. A forensic audit of the register and its IT system. Because I want my vote protected. I know you want your vote protected. This forensic audit will seek to unravel the root cause, if it is one, or if more than one, the root causes of avoidable and sometimes deliberate errors that we have seen. And as I have said already, what we are seeking is related. There are two. Correcting errors on the register and also closing the vulnerabilities in the system. Very, very important. Otherwise, let's face it, if they just correct the errors, can't the very people who effected the deliberate errors overnight restore them if you don't fix the gaps? So it's important. It's not just a matter of correcting the errors. And we know the EC is listening. So they must note that it's not just a matter of correcting the errors, but also fixing the vulnerabilities inherent in their both human and IT system, the technology and the human. Very, very important. So, and sometimes they will say that, oh, but the figures are not 2 million, 3 million. They ought to be reminded that in Ghana, it is 50% plus 1. Few thousands took us to time in 2008, if you recall. So let us protect our votes by joining this noble quest. As summarized, and we believe you've heard this already, when we met the EC on 6th of September this year, we alluded to the fact that 243,540 previous transfers had been added to the 2024 transfers. And some of them were repetitions of the names, so double error. You transfer the person and then they repeat the names. Whatever the reason is, your guess may be as good as mine. What will be the interest of the EC in bloating the transfer list? Is it to allow some people, and I believe we know the corporates, certainly not NDC, to tragum as in pour foreign materials masquerading as ballots into the boxes on D-Day, even when the people don't show up to vote? Forget about the fact that they will tell you, oh, their names are on the register. It's not that simple. The transfers could be in different polling stations from where their names are. And manual verification may also allow for such people to even come and vote multiple times. And if what they were seeking to do earlier, which we fought vehemently to eliminate the indelible ink, if you recall, they wanted to eliminate indelible ink. Thank God we fought it. They could have exploited this. Another is the 15,000 unidentifiable voter transfer paths. Over 15,000 people transferred. Don't worry, we will release this. We are very transparent. That's why we have the media here. Unlike the EC that refused you attendance when we met them. We shall release this immediately we are done. 15,000 plus unidentifiable voter transfer paths. So over 15,000 people who have been transferred, but we don't know where they came from. Where did they register? Which station did they register? Which district office? Refresh your memories. Couple this with the stolen biometric voter registration kits, which they want to say laptops. Fine. Could it be that these people were surreptitiously registered in bedrooms, in garages, and have been transferred because we cannot trace where they were registered? Because when you transfer, your name must indicate that you were once in a particular polling station, so your name must be on the absent list of that polling station that you have transferred from. And then the polling station that you've transferred into, your name must be on their transfer list. These people, they don't satisfy that. Where are they coming from? Could it be the stolen BVR kits, theft taking place at the corporate office of the Electoral Commission, the headquarters of the EC, under CCTV surveillance 24/7, military and police protection? Over 3,000, almost 4,000 names that were in the 2023 register completely deleted from the 2024 provisional register. Completely deleted. 2,094 transferred voters, you can't find them in the absent voters list. So they transferred, but their names are not in the absent voters list. Okay. So if the person transfers and the person's name is not in the absent voters list, if the person shows up with the ID card of that place that he or she previously voted and says, I'm a voter here, how will the NDC or PNC or CPP polling agent insist that no, your name is on the absent list, you cannot vote here? This is crazy, and you will see photos of this summary. This is crazy. Corrupt files. You don't find any name, you don't find photos, you don't even find the age. The corrupt files. No photo, no name, no age. Guess what? When we raise these absent lists, the deletions and these ones, the chairperson of the EC, Madam Mensa, says, oh, so long as the person has a voter's ID card, they can manually write the person's name on the register. That was the response. And we told her that would be the criminal Richard Ahiagba phenomenon. We believe you remember what Richard Ahiagba did in 2020. That will not be done for you and I. It will be done for an MPP person, but certainly not you and I. And we don't even want to encourage it. But when you put all this together, then we must be taking our minds back to 2020, when Imani started sounding some alarm bells about some fishy procurements that had been done and all. This is the reason, and many others, that we need a forensic audit of the register and also the IT system of the Electoral Commission. And as you have checked, we have not gone to segregate, looking at our strongholds to say that this is what has happened, that unlike the MPP, you recall, before the 2016 elections, Baumia was talking about some Togolese who were on the voters register in the Volta region, just targeting a group of people. We haven't done that. We've just identified the errors, even though we have data from various regions. Volta region alone has submitted 44 pages of anomalies, which we are waiting. If the team is set up, we are going to put all these individualized reports before the team. We are nationalistic, unlike them. We are patriotic. We just want free and fair elections. That is what our leader, President John Dramani Mahama, stands for. That is why, as president, he graciously handed over power only for a democratic despot to come and have the audacity to say he cannot hand over to President Mahama unless they kill God. The Constitution of Ghana doesn't give him that privilege to hand over. His term of office expires on January 6, midnight, and inshallah President Mahama will be sworn in as the President of the Republic of Ghana. And we have uncovered more errors, some bordering on criminality. We have uncovered more. There is a particular one which is just like the Pusiga criminality. Those criminal transfers. This is why a forensic audit is needed. It's not just a matter of, NDC identifies, we fix. NDC identifies, we fix. No. There's more than meets the eye, considering what we are seeing. So, the summary is what I've given. So I'm just going to show you some of the photos of what to indicate. For example, you can take my seat. Today you are my student. After that, then I'll be your student. So, NDC's observations as presented to EC. I've summarized it. And what did we do? We had the 2023 register given to us by the EC. And the 2023 register is a combination of the register for 2020 and the limited registration in 2023. So we use the 2023 register for the district level elections, the district assembly elections. So what we did was we used SQL to query the database. So the software used SQL, then you query the database to check if a voter is present in the current register or not. If any voter has his or her polling station changed, that is the transfers, and are the transfers legal? If they are legal, of course, you expect that they should be in the absent list of that polling station. They should be in the transfer list of the other polling station that he or she would have transferred to. But you may even have those ones showing, but if you go beyond the quantitative and dig into the qualitative, for all you know, they may not have transferred. And this is why we say our methodology cannot unearth everything, every disease that is afflicting this register. To check the categories of transfers that have occurred over the period and any other. So let's move to the next. So, as I said, almost 4,000 names that were deleted from the register. And this is how that manifested. And interestingly, we need to pay attention to this gentleman, Ernest Ofori, because an interesting discussion ensued about him when we were with the Electoral Commission. And it's unfortunate we have to be reporting this situation. We wish the EC was transparent to have allowed the media to cover. When we evoked Ernest Ofori in the presence of our team, Barbara Sewa Samoa, our Deputy General Secretary, Professor Francis Dodu, our team, the EC's IT consultant was too quick to disprove us. He said, "Oh, what is the person's voter ID number?" We also gladly produced it. Gladly produced it. They say, "Oh, this person, his name has not been deleted, his name is in the register." Then an intelligent question was fired. Which constituency? That the EC IT consultant checked again and said, Ketu North. Ladies and gentlemen, I put it to you that Tesano Police Station, True Vine, Ni Boyman, none of them is in the Volta region. True or false? So do you understand why we need to go beyond just what they tell us? If you don't ask the relevant questions, what happened to Ernest Ofori? In Ernest Ofori's case, in 2020, he was at True Vine. True. 2023, True Vine. 2024, Ernest Ofori, his name is absent list of True Vine showed he had transferred to Tesano Police Station. You understand what's happening? So, 2020 True Vine, 2023 True Vine. 2024, the absent list of True Vine says he has transferred to where? Tesano Police Station. Tesano Police Station transfer list, Ernest Ofori present. But Ernest Ofori's name, you cannot find it in the register, deleted. Then EC, in their data, when their consultant tried to disprove us, to say that his details are found in the register, and we went further. The follow-up questions, the journalists here will tell you, it is not how well the politicians we prepare to come and face them. It is their follow-up questions that always will expose those who are not well prepared. So the follow-up question is what exposed them. Ketu North. Tesano Police Station cannot be Ketu North. How many police stations have they even built? Let's move on. So these are all in that category. This is an esophagus. So all these people are in that category. And then they will tell, oh, bring all. Can you imagine if we were presenting 3,957? We would have slept at their corporate office that evening. And we may still have been presenting. Good. So let's move on. So all these people, they've been affected by that situation. Observation 2, 2094, transferred to different polling stations, but they do not exist in absent voter list. So you transfer them, but they are not in the absent voter list of the previous place. On December 7, if they go and vote where they've been transferred to, and assuming indelible ink was not used, and we are even hearing that instead of procuring indelible ink, they are seeking to procure some pens, some markers or something. We wait to meet them at IPAC. We will test if it really fits what an indelible ink must be. We did not fight for them to retain indelible ink, only for them to just introduce a marker, just any marker. You see, we have heard. If you've already ordered them, transship and order the proper indelible ink. Eagle eyes. Let's go to observation 3. Observation 3. Previous transfers illegally added to 2024 transfers. We explained that. And that is over 240,000. Over 240,000. And I've already taken you through the risk associated with this. How this can give people the false hope that they can just stuff the ballot boxes and in the end use manual verification methods, or even where polling agents are not very vigilant, our agents are going to be vigilant. They can just fudge the numbers, creative accounting, the part C and D of the pink sheet, including B, and get it sorted. This is why we need to fix this. But fixing it is not enough. Correcting the errors, not enough. The root cause. You should ask why. Why? 5 times. Every answer they give, then you ask why. Every answer they give, then you ask why. The next answer, why? Their final answer, why? After you've questioned it 5 times, if they are being sincere, you will know. And as we move on, you will appreciate the insincerity that we are dealing with. Let's move on, please. So all these fall under the 243,000 plus. And let's come to the previous slide, please. And even when they were engaged in these additions, and guess what? When we exposed this, they then came out to say, oh, they were trying to trace the history of transfers. That is why they added 2020 transfers to 2023 transfers. If I recall, Secondary Form 1, September 1989, F.K. Bua, they said history is a study of important past events. How relevant is 2020 transfer to this election? When the moment you transfer, your name is placed permanently in the polling station that you have transferred to. And assuming they wanted to engage in that intellectual inquiry, couldn't they have pursued that at the headquarters? Why worry political parties with your intellectual masturbation? Permit my saying. Why? They obviously had ulterior motives. If we had not unraveled this, when were they going to inform us that they were just trying to study the historical trends of transfers? Who taxed them? Who put them to this? And as for this confession, fortunately, they didn't make it in camera. And that is what even exposes their lack of forthrightness. Because if it was the case and it was not an afterthought, on September 6th when we met them, they should have given us that answer. Professor Dodu, former Pro-Vice Chancellor of University of Ghana, 4 times Olympic Games for Ghana. Did they give us that answer? They never did. It was days afterthought. Then they informed Ghanaians on Evans Mensa's show. Computer, you were there. That, they were trying to trace the history of transfers. History is the study of important past events. Observation 4. 15,000 unidentified transfer parts. You register first. You cannot trace these people. And it's more than 50. We don't know where they registered at first, but they've been transferred. So, the BVR, the biometric voter registration kits that got stolen, could this be a product of that criminal enterprise? Because those BVR laptops got stolen under CCTV surveillance. And for the journalists who have visited the corporate office, you know the layers of security that you have to clear before you even get to the second reception. And so that theft was as a result of deliberate, layered irresponsibility. If you take into account the fact that the layers of security that they have is beyond what you can see. Look, at their main gate is that bar. You will see some policemen, some soldiers. You get to the main compound and then there is a reception on the right, manned by civilians. The front door, of course, the glass door is there. Then there's a metal detector. You go through it and you know where that lands you, in front of the receptionist. Yet, BVR laptops could be stolen. And when they were stolen, they told us that, end of life. So, for you to be able to use it, you will need login credentials. You will need to be authorized. And you can't have that. When we told them that if someone has been able to steal the hardware, as for the just authorization, it will be very easy to access. They said, no. When the fundamentals of your lies, your narrative are weak, Pusiga transfer criminality will expose you. In Pusiga, transfers took place. And now they are crying, wailing that what? Liveliness test had not been incorporated. It means that those who stole the BVR laptops can also use it for the intended purpose. They should explain where this over 15,000 unidentified transfers are coming from. Where did they register? Next slide, please. And these are samples. Then, the corrupt files, as I said, just imagine if this occurs on election day. You go to your polling station. Are you seeing this? This is a voters register. Do you see any photo? Any name? Age? If this happens to you, you cry, our beloved country. Because you are ready to vote against a Galamsey government. But you go and meet this corrupt file. empty register and you can't vote against it. So when they say they win with strategy, this is what they mean. And unfortunately, they have a pliant electoral commission that is ready to allow them to effect all these schemes. Next slide. And as I've said, several other revelations have come from the regions. Let me, off the top of my head, let me say some. One of Sami Jemfi's favorite, and he's here with us. German North. German North. You know what has happened there? The exact Pusiga criminal transfers. So we exposed the Pusiga one. And they said, oh, we have activated the liveliness test, so we fixed it. When were they going to activate the liveliness test? Because on TV, between Sami Jemfi and their director for electoral services, that day Sami you know first. Why? The man admitted that they activated the liveliness test when the exhibition had started. So it meant that it was our revelation. But we don't, if that's the case, give us your system and let us reveal more so you can fix them. If you cannot identify the anomalies, if you cannot identify the discrepancies, give it to us and let us fix them. You say no, give us what you have identified so that we can fix them. You don't have the ability to identify. So allow us access to the system and let's identify all the anomalies if you are truly committed to transparency and integrity of the elections, as we are, as President John Dramani Mahama is, as Professor Jainana Opoku-Agyeman is, as decent Ghanaians are. That is not too much. We are not asking for too much. It's not just about, let me add one more of the revelations. It's not just about German North. And when we talk about Pusiga, you may have forgotten, but connect it. During the limited registration, if you recall, NIA was clandestinely registering people and dishing out NIA cards. I hope some people recall that incident. It's the same Pusiga that an officer was using fictitious card to register many other people. You recall? Okay. Are you surprised that we are having a toxic tincture of NIA, EC, NIA cards being issued, dangerous transfers, criminal transfers being moved from Tamale South, Honorable Haruna Idrisu's constituency, to Pusiga? Obviously, they look at the lines of least resistance. People they can collaborate with. As I said, we have received more since we met them. Let me add one more. Nandom. And I wish we have the Nandom video here. This one, I won't talk about this one. Let's keep some for... Sami, if I say all today, what will I say tomorrow? If I say all today, what will I say tomorrow? He wants me to talk about the Sojaman one, but I won't talk about that one. I mean Nandom. Nandom is very far from Sojaman. Nandom. I have a video here, which maybe after my speech we will play that. You will know the colors of the district electoral officer in Nandom. If you recall, he is the guy that last year, in declaring the winner of the MPP parliamentary elections, the primaries, was tempted to sing or yell their slogans. You recall that video? We have submitted that video to the Electoral Commission since the beginning of this year. It is only on 6th of September when we met them, and then a follow-up question, and they said the report I shows he did nothing wrong, and I told them we will be taking him to charge. Now guess what has happened in Nandom, and we will release the letter that our team in the Upper West has also written. They found over 190 names. The people do not have any right to register to vote in an election in Ghana. And the name of the judge who sat on the case is His Worship Baba Idrisu, District Magistrate. So the NDC has subsequently issued a petition to the Electoral Commission for the removal of Mr. Elvis Koka as the returning officer of the Nandom Municipal Electoral Commission. And when we play that video, you will also appreciate how the district electoral officer introduced this same gentleman at the MPP event. So, here again, the organic linkage between the 2023 MPP event revelation and these fictitious registrations that took place, criminal registrations that took place. Should I go to Esonafo South? No. Let's move on. There's more that we can talk about. Please, let's move on. The legal academics here, Dr. Sawyer and the rest, will tell you when a criminal pleads guilty as charged, the case is simplified, is that not it? The judge has to just convict and sentence. Fortunately, the criminals have admitted to wrongdoing. Is that not it? At least, Multimedia says they've admitted to 3 of the allegations. Electoral Commission. It's not me. And some of them are criminal. So, when it is us unearthing and you admitting, how on earth should we trust that the more we bring, you are going to be dealing with all of them? That's one. And 2, even when we expose, you try to come around and rationalize. This is yours truly, Dr. Bosman. He used to be my friend. Now I can't tell. Prof. Jampo, Professor Pesa White, you remember those days brainstorming Ghana? WhatsApp was not there. So it was emails. Several Ghanaian young people were writing. It was one of them. That was when we were fighting to defeat the MPP in 2008. He says, all NDC's identified anomalies have been corrected. Hooray. So why do they need our data? Are you getting me? All NDC's identified anomalies have been corrected. If they've all been corrected, why do they need our data? Just give us your updated version. because you have corrected all the issues we've raised. But how were you able to know the fullest extent of the issues we've raised when we have not submitted them to you? Are you getting me? First layer, all NDC identified anomalies have been corrected. Then give it to us. You're updated, because our hard drive is still with them. And I've heard some of our people say, hey, this I had, why did you leave it with them? They will do this to it. Please, our IT, we've told you that the kind of IT system we are working with, we are light years ahead of them. Don't worry. We have our own cyber security systems to treat whatever we exchange with them. Even when we collected our hard drive for this exhibition, few hours to the exhibition, we treated it before distributing the information to the regions and to the constituencies. Ask around. Nobody has had his or her laptop crash since we distributed. We know exactly what we do whenever we pick things from them. So be rest assured. The system added all the transfers made from 2020, 2023, and 2024 together. That is him speaking. The commission has segregated this anomaly. Is this not waste of time? Why create this problem only to resolve it? And were they actually going to resolve it if we had not unearthed it? Next slide. It is great to hear that. We can't help but wonder when the EC received the evidence from the NDC. The way Lawyer Joyce Bauer is nodding, I'm sure this is Lawyer Joyce Bauer. Next slide, please. So, with all these, do you expect us to trust the EC? We cannot trust the EC. GS. Please, can we trust the EC? No. So, if you don't trust the EC, we are justified. And I'm going to go through some of the reasons for us not trusting the EC. Trust depends on reliability and credibility. If you look at the trust equation, the numerator has reliability and credibility. Very, very strong points there. There's a third one. Credibility, reliability, very, very important. The denominator, what divides it, has self-interest, which can be also construed as what? Bias. And we all know, for every quotient, if the denominator is big, then the answer, the quotient, is small. Their self-interest is so huge. Don't we know how they got to the commission?